Guys, what's up? I'm back. So I figured since I was already set down filming like a nail polish video that I would just continue with the next nail polish video instead of like just filming it on a different day or changing out my outfit. So yeah, I'm wearing the same outfit because clearly it's the same day and I'm filming 2 videos back to back. So there's your explanation. This is going to be a dupe video. This is going to be all the nail polishes that I have that are sort of like similar to each other or exactly the same. The reason why I'm doing this video is because not too long ago I went through my nail polish racks and all of my like nail polish storage, and I did sort of a declutter, and I found that I had a lot of nail polishes that were exactly the same and some that were very similar to the point where I didn't need the other one. So I've decided to go ahead and take the opportunity to show you guys those polishes so that maybe if you're looking for something that you don't want to spend $9 or $10 for, like an Essie or OPI or something like that, that you know it's not very easy for you to get, you could probably find a very affordable dupe for it. The first polish I'm going to be duping is the ever so popular Bikini Sotini. I don't need to say anything about this polish. You already know it's been out for a while now and everyone loves it. I love this polish. It's a beautiful sort of periwinkle blue with a bit of a silvery, not frost finish, what am I saying? It has a silver like shimmer in it, but it's not apparent on the nail. The polish I'm going to be using today to dupe this that's very similar is C'est La Vie by Sinful Colors. As you guys can see, in the close-ups, they're not identical dupes. This one is a little bit darker, maybe a shade or 2 darker than Bikini Sotini, but this honestly was the closest thing I've had in my collection to Bikini Sotini, and it's really hard to find a dupe for Bikini Sotini. Like, I've looked everywhere and I cannot find a dupe for it, and you think that 1,000 dupes would be made by now since everyone loves this polish, but nope. It hasn't been done. It hasn't been done. The formula on Bikini Sotini is really not the greatest. It's very streaky, very chalky, but I love the color so much I just deal with it. The formula on the Sinful Colors one is pretty good. 2 coats to be opaque, not bad at all. The next 2 are blues as well. And it is Frostbite from China Glaze. This one is a really popular one as well. It's a bright cobalt blue sort of metallic polish. This came out, I think, I'm not even gonna pretend like I know when this came out because I really don't know when it came out, but I think it was part of some holiday collection. This color is gorgeous. The polish I'm gonna be using to dupe this today is Saved by the Blue by Wet n Wild Fast Dry. The formula on the Fast Dry one is amazing. Talking 1 to 2 coats, it really does dry down fast. It lasts pretty long, I would say about 7 to 10 days. The China Glaze one actually does not last that long. It chips pretty easily and it's a very thin, runny formula. It actually takes about 3 to 4 coats to make completely opaque, as opposed to the 2 coats of Saved by the Blue. So there you go. So the next polish that I have here is Highlight of My Summer. This came out in the Summer Sensationals collection. I believe there was like 6 jellies and 6 creams in that collection. This honestly was the first time I've ever saw or experienced like a neon pastel before. I'm sure other brands may have done it, but I've never saw it until this collection came out. So this was like my first experience with a neon pastel and I loved it. It's just a gorgeous bright neon pastel-y green. The polish I'm going to be using to dupe this today is by Salon Perfect and it is in the shade In Mint Condition. They're pretty close, like I have to say. If I could see any difference, I would say that the China Glaze one is a tinge more blue, but that's just because I'm looking over there because there's a mirror. It's just a tinge more blue, but that's just because I look at colors all day. I honestly see 1,000 different shades, so my color palette in my brain might be a little bit larger than most people, but I feel like if you put this side to side or if you wore one on one hand and one on the other, people really would not know the difference. The formula on the China Glaze one is actually pretty terrible, like I'm not gonna lie. It's one of the worst formulas I ever had to work with in my entire life. The formula on the Salon Perfect is amazing. It's a 1-coater polish. You can do 2 if you prefer, but it is a 1-coater polish, so yeah. Then I have Ruby Pumps, another very popular polish in the nail polish community. This one has a red jelly base with a bunch of red micro glitter floating throughout. It's beautiful. The polish I'm going to be using to dupe it today is by Sally Hansen Extreme Wear line in Red Carpet. They both have red jelly bases, but the Sally Hansen one has a silver glitter, I think. It's silver glitter instead of red glitter, so it doesn't pop as much as the China Glaze one. The next one I have here is Red Lights Ahead Wear by OPI, and the polish I'm going to be using to dupe it is Heat Wave by Wet n Wild Mega Last. Clearly, I love the Wet n Wild Mega Last one a lot more. You can see it's kind of, I don't know if you can see the mark, but it's like down to here. The formula on the OPI one is very watery, very runny, and very just like sheer. It takes about, I would say, 3 to 4 coats. If you have any ridges or linings or inconsistencies in your nail bed, it is going to show. It is going to sink down into your nail lines or nail beds and accentuate all of the unevenness. So that is why I don't like this one. It also chips very easily. The Wet n Wild one is amazing, honestly. One coat, very nice, thick, creamy formula that I'm used to with Wet n Wild. The next polish I got is Lincoln Park After Dark. This is also a very popular polish by OPI. Everyone's heard of it. This is pretty much a really deep, almost black purple shade. The color or polish I'm going to be using to dupe this, I sound out of breath, is Seductive by L'Oreal. Now, Lincoln Park After Dark is a lot dark, not a lot darker, but definitely darker than the Revlon one. You have to layer about 3 to 4 coats of this to get it to the shade of Lincoln Park After Dark. But after the 3 to 4 coats, they definitely match in shade. It's just, I mean, the amount of coats you have to put on clearly. The next polish I have here is Fairy Dust by China Glaze. Now this one took me a while to actually pick up. I don't know why. It's a very nice, finely milled holographic silver glitter in a clear base, and the polish I'm going to be using to dupe it with is Salon's Perfect Cosmic Dust. So Fairy Dust and Cosmic Dust, these are dead on identical dupes for one another, like pretty much dead on identical dupes. There is no difference that I find with these. The only difference clearly is in price. This one I have is a Gelato. This came out in the Peach Side Babe collection. I believe it was like the beginning of 2016. The polish I'm going to be using to dupe it today is Sally Hansen Instra Dry in Chartreuse Chase. And this is not a dead-on, clearly not a dead-on identical dupe for one another. The Sally Hansen one is definitely a shade or two darker, and it has a bit of a, like, I don't know, an iridescent-y sheen to it, so you get kind of a flash of green when you turn it to the side a little bit, whereas the SC one doesn't have any like sheen or shimmer or glitter whatsoever. It's just a cream polish. But honestly, these two are very, very close to each other, so that is the reason why I use it, and this was the closest one in my collection to Gelato. Insta Dry one, I cannot stand the formula of this. It kind of dries super fast on the top layer, but then it's still wet underneath, so if you bump it or like nick it or something like that, it's still wet. Next one I'm going to be duping is Orly's Rage. Now this is super duper popular in the nail polish community. Everyone rages literally about this polish, and for good reasons. The polish I'm going to be using to dupe that is by Sinful Colors, and it is in the shade Supernova. These two are pretty much dead on identical dupes for one another. That's pretty much the same. They both could be one coaters. I did do two. It's just the same polish. Like, there's not much more to say. It's the exact same polish. So if you love Orly's Rage and always wanted to pick it up but didn't want to spend the $7 for it, you can get Supernova for $1.99 at the drugstore. Next one I have here is Essie's Go Ginza. This is probably one of my favorite spring shades of all time, pretty much. It's a really nice lilac-y color. It's kind of in between pink and purple. Very, very pretty. I love this. The polish I'm going to be using to dupe it is Don't Be Jelly by Wet n Wild One Step Wonder Gel. Now I know you cannot tell what it looks like in the bottle because it's a black bottle because it's a gel polish, but I promise you these polishes are pretty much dead on identical dupes for each other in color. In fact, let me just show you what this looks like. I'm just going to pull up the brush so you can kind of see what it looks like up next to the Essie polish. Can you see that? Last one I have is OPI's My Dog Sled is a Hybrid. And this is pretty much a seafoam green cream. It is opaque in 2 coats. The polish I'm going to be using to dupe it is Mint Apple by Sinful Colors. These are identical in color. The only difference is Mint Apple has a bit of a silvery shimmer to it, whereas My Dog Sled is a Hybrid is a strictly cream polish, but these are pretty much the same freaking color. So that's it, you guys. That is all the dupes that I have for you today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!